Thank you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, just for the benefit of everybody, Prof K actually used to be my MBA professor in, I think, management, if I'm not mistaken, management.
AU.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in AEU. And since then, and back then he was still in the corporate sector. That's where once I had a session with him in the AEU, I realized, wow, the way he thinks, the way and the materials he read, it's very different, and that's why I think we want to bring him in on Ice Chat tonight to ask and get his insights on human resource, right? So the topic tonight, Prof K, is human resources of the future, the economics of human resources of the future. The reason why we picked this topic, number one, because of your own personal interest in human resource, and because you are also the recipient of HRD awards back then in Jakarta and Bali, and also your interest in economics. Are you a Shapterian or Keynesian? Which one?
I'm a Keynesian. I'm not Friedman. That one is.
I'm
pro
Friedman, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Pro-government, right?
Friedman is very American.
Yeah, so we want to bring these two concepts, economic and human resource. So from your point of view, Prof K, so what the future look like at human resource, maybe in Malaysian context, your thoughts about this?
Well, I like to start off by looking at it globally. Okay. Now, I think everyone knows it. It's well, for those who do not know, but I think most people know that at the moment, all the repetitive manual tasks, that can has been taken over. 60% of the repetitive manual tasks in organization has been taken over by robots. So that tells you something, right, about the future of human resources. And number one, number two. Now, with the COVID, with the pandemic, okay. When that happened, it's a global health emergency, and at the same time, while that's happening, you begin to see globally economic ruins. It's affecting all spheres, all areas of economics, and I'm sure everyone has read about it. You can hear already airlines, laying off people. That's one industry, and then you can see hotels, closing shops, and people being laid off. So, if you ask me, okay, this is the time when a lot of people wish they are not in HR. Okay, you know why?
Okay.
Yeah, because it is not a nice thing to tell people sorry, because I went through that process, so I know. And the first describe the organization, but my first experience is when I had to lay off people because we were not making money. So I had to tell from a different business unit, and I had to go and even I had to go and give the makcik the check. And I said, sorry makcik, this is a check I can't remember, 2 months or 3 months pay because the board approved. So we pay them and said that's the last paycheck. And then I tell the makcik, then she cried. I said, makcik, jangan nangis lah. Ini this is your turn. Next week or sometime from now, saya pula. True enough. Hardly 1 or 2 months after that, I was it was my turn. Okay, that was one organization, and the other organization I was involved in of course it was what do you call it? It was it's a conversion. I think my friends who probably are listening to me will know, my colleagues will know. I was in the middle. I was brought in the process of corporatization. Okay. So in that process, which means that you need to look at your assets, you need to look at your resources. So we had an employee at that time of about 8,800. So we did a right sizing. Okay, there are many things that you can use. Okay, you can use as retrenchment, layoff, downsizing. But the more
right sizing, right sizing.
The more nice term to do, the more politically correct is right sizing. So it went down from 8,000 to 5,000. So when I talk about HR, I mean I was there, I was doing it, so I know.
Yeah, okay?
That's one. And the future is even what do you call? I won't say worrying or scary, but I would imagine there'll be a much more use of technology. Okay.
Right.
Now we're
Right.
talking about the other thing when I discuss this even in my HR classes, I tell sometimes HR ni, is being made glamorous by the consultants. Okay. And and then they have their own things that they want to sell, kan? Of course nanti ni all the consultants show marah ni. Okay. And basically what they are selling basically the systems, what they call for example, if you have a big organization, have 20, 30,000 employees, you need to have a proper system. You need to have a proper accounting system and a proper HR system. So the small SMEs can't afford it, and in fact they don't need to do it. They can do it manually. So I would imagine the SMEs will continue to manage them according to their needs, and also again at the end of the day, it's the tauke or the CEO how you look at.
But okay, Prof. I mean, you came. I totally agree. You came from the industry background, now then to academic, right? And you had lay off people. I think you were also active as the secretary to a public sector company, and you get involved with the top management, and you're also in association.
Right.
Yeah.
And right. In fact, I was one of the pro-tem, committee. I was in the early pro-tem committee setting up the Malaysian Society for Training and Development. I don't know what happened. Okay.
So you've seen that. You've seen that development.
I've seen the evolution.
Yeah, the evolution, right? And you still keep up to date. And in your experience dengan you punya the things that you do now. So how different it was? Human resource back then, because you're also recipient of HR awards, right? Internationally. So looking back, reflecting on your own experience in HR and what you see in HR now, particularly as HR leaders, HR leadership, how different it was and compared to back then and now?
Okay. Back then, I'm not sure now, but I think it's about the same. HR is a management function, it's a management discipline. And there has always been this rivalry, professional jealousy and rivalry between finance, between marketing, corporate communication, HR. So every management function feels that theirs is strategic. Okay? But to me, HR is strategic because after the CEO, it is the HR function, because not only how do you call it? You're not someone, because the problem is you give the impression that if you're in HR, kerja you ambil orang, hiring and firing people, and it's very interesting. Okay, based on my observation, people are nice with you, because you are like the prefect. Punish people if you come late, and then when ask when is the bonus, when is my promotion coming. So HR revolves around those areas, and I think until today there's still many HR practitioners, or maybe not the leaders, but the HR people themselves think along those lines. And I keep on saying, no, HR is strategic. If HR is strategic, means you have to move away from your normal behavior or process. The word is, you are no longer the record keeper, because dulu the employees, look at HR, these are the people. You when the CEO calls you, you tell the CEO, how many people are not working, they are pregnant, on leave, how many people who didn't come to work, that kind of thing. What do you call who are those who came late, stuff like that. So it's very operational, and many are still doing that. I'm not saying that it's not important. That's important. So another, you need to separate between the normal routine, but I think most of those things now is already taken over by technology. Okay. You check, you clock in, it's all done now. You just put. In fact, now you have facial detection, and then you have with your thumbprint. There are a lot of technology around now, which a lot of organizations are already using, which actually, I won't say reduce the function or the role of HR, but it actually value adds the role now. So in other words, you can spend more time looking at strategic issues. So when the CEO calls you, call the HR chief, what is it that you need to do? It is your job to advise the CEO, okay? Not tell him how many people that doesn't come, berapa orang dah sakit, you know, how many did we spend on this, spend on that. No, the economics of it, you know, how much money you spend on training. No. You should be able to tell the CEO, okay,
right. Hello, I think I'm losing you. Yes. All right. Okay. Yeah. So I guess on that score, like Prof, I mean, I think that HR a bit risk averse, you know, because of the things that they do, like you said just now, back office, right? Back office function that they have. So how do you see that? Oh, I think I lost Prof K. I hope he's able to come back. All right, let me see. Well, okay, while waiting, we are currently live with Prof Khaeruddin Sudharmin on HR, economic HR of the future. Let me just get him back. Right. All right, so we tried so hard with this a few days back. So, but today it happened again. That's all right. So I think some of the good point that he brought up is about HR tend to be a back office function. And I guess this is the part that HR needs to able to adapt with the changing needs of the organization. And this is where, let me just text it back. Right, yes, okay, he's back. All right, thank you. Hello, Prof K, can you hear me? Hello, Prof K, can you hear me? Let's see whether I can get him. One more time. Hello. Hello. I think we lost him again. All right, can't see him. All right, so some of the good things that he mentioned is about HR need to be a bit more strategic.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, now okay. All right. Come back.
But my internet connection was unstable.
No worry. Okay, come. Right. So talking about the HR, being a back office, right? I think this is not a new argument. It's been around. But how?
Strategic.
Right, strategic. Right. We want HR to be strategic, but again, because I also involved in training and coaching. I mix around with HR people. I think one of the missing thing is HR tend to also go to their HR conference. They don't go to maybe engineering conference, or
other conferences.
Other conferences, right? So other industry conferences. So what's your thought about that? Probably my comment is a bit limited, narrow, but from your point of view as an academic, as an practitioner in the industry, what's your thought about that?
No, HR should, I don't know, you should have a more open mind rather than being, because I came from different discipline, different background, and then but I more or less seem to like HR. So I've read everything, you know. I've studied the history and the evolution of HR right from the day when it first came out. It was industrial relation, and then it became personnel management, and then it became human resource management, and then it became human capital management. You know, it has gone and evolved. You know, and some of it is being banded around by consultants, you know, as I said earlier, and some of it also being and if you look at the universities, a lot of the professors, if you ask them what are they, or they like that subject area, human resource management. Okay, that's one. Now the other thing is, HR ni, sometimes it's like what do you call? Well, I think it's not just HR. Most management disciplines are like that. You know, they like to congregate. You know, among themselves. You find that the accountants, you know, will move around a lot with the accountants and stuff like that. And I noticed in organizations, if you notice, the CEO, which discipline that they come from is important.
Okay.
And if you, over time you will notice that the CEOs mostly, even until today, you can find that I would say, you know, 90%. When boards or when organizations are looking for the CEOs, the first thing that they will be thinking about, or they would like to have it, someone who is a number cruncher, accounting guy.
So okay. Talking about that, right? So I have the same view. I think good that you called it out. So is this because the HR function is not well appreciated or well appraised by the number one itself, or by the CEO or the board itself? They feel HR ni macam kerja back office saja. Oh, you buatlah kerja kan? Instead of strategy. Is that reason why HR become what HR today? Because in some organization where the CEO valued HR, they will call the HR people to be one of the you know, execom, excom, and play greater voice in the decision making. Your view, Prof? Oh, I'm not losing out again.
Okay, that trigger it, you know, the HR guru said, must be at the table, not on the table, because all this while, apa ni HR ni, bila toilet sumbat ni, dia kata, mana HR? Where's the HR bro? So mana dia jaga building, you know, jaga toilet, and then in some organizations I know, but the training department is somewhere under bawah tangga. You know, that kind of thing, or near the toilet. You know? Because why? Like in hotels, you know, there's a department of the hotel. Where is it? It's near where the kitchen and things like that, because nak jaga stuff. So you know, to me, okay, HR must be at the table, meaning to say, if there's something that affects the organization, because you are responsible. 40% of your cost of the organization is the salaries. The employee, that's a very significant cost. Not only that, and then the quality of the people, they are the ones who are going to bring in the money, who are going to bring in the business. So it's your job to get the best talent around, of course, according to your affordability. So when the CEO talks about the bigger picture, so HR professionals must be able to be at par with the finance director, or with the marketing director, or with the PR director. So she should be able to tell about, look, this is the skill set that we have. If you are going to this industry, okay, we have choices. Either we train our people, which may take a long time, but if we have the luxury, we can do that. Or we can search for talent outside, pay them a little bit better, and then go. And if we look at the pool or the what do you call, skill set that we have, I think we can go into this industry, that industry. The HR professionals to be someone like that, not cerita orang berapa orang, you know, just operational stuff. Okay, that's my observation lah. That's my view. Of course, there are some you know, of course there are some really good ones out there lah. Right?
Yeah, of course, I agree with you that there are some really good ones out there, but I think they are too small a number, right? Like what you said, example you give tadi kan, if one HR can advise, we kind of advisor of the organization, the top management, what kind of human capital do we need? After all, structure follow strategy, kan? Chandler, I think you always reminded that.
Remember Chandler, that's good. One of the few so because since you mentioned it, I post malam boleh cakap, you know, Chandler, very important. Structure, so it is not strategy follow structure. Okay, it is structure follow. So you have to go and craft your strategy. What is the mantra? What is your mission and vision? And then you already know where you are, where you want to go, how to get there, and then only you do the structure. But then according to Chandler cakap apa? All the companies that he has surveyed all over the world, even in the US, what they do is they do the structure first. and then they say, okay, let's go to Sabah for the weekend and do a strategic plan. That's oxymoronic. That's balik.
Yes. So because of that, right? So another contending issue in HR is about the multi-generational workforce, kan?
Exactly.
Yang otak-otak ini senior ni ramai. And they take maybe the large dia tak nak pergi, tak nak berhenti, gaji mahal, very expensive.
They enjoy the job.
I don't know, maybe they enjoy the perks more than the job.
Exactly.
So and then the junior, which is supposed to do the heavy lifting of the digital, the future plan of a company, are not able to join in. Pasal the numbers, the headcount was already limited, the budget and all that. And so how do you see? So how do you see this? Should the senior be capped at 60 or 55, or not more? And then different kind of hiring process. How can this thing can be any alternative ways to solve this, or as an option organization could consider when it comes to HR?
Well, follow the process. Let them go. They can be retained on a retainer basis as an advisor. Then you would have groomed someone to take over your job, legacy. But the Malaysian style, I noticed. Okay, and there are said when they leave, isn't it? They always get someone who is better than they are. Okay, if you look at Bill Gates and if you look at Steve Jobs, they pay people a lot of money. People who are smarter than they are, who will bring in. And now you see the trend all around the world that they take younger people because that is the future. The Gen Y, the Gen Z. The Gen Y pun dah nak jadi tua dah pun. So this is the next generation. And then good organizations and good HR practitioners, the first thing they know is to understand the behavior. Baby boomers macam mana. Okay, talking about baby boomers like me. I know of some of my own peers, colleagues, when they were bosses, they have the secretary, they have all the perks, car driver, but they never, even their own email, they don't check the secretary does everything. Even in answering the email, and they don't even come to the computer takut. But I think now they have become expert. Many of them are pension, so now they have become expert. You know what? They on the smartphone, so they got no choice. It's not by choice. It's by situation. So they have.
So
that's but okay, it's very interesting. I won't mention place. There is one government department where the CEO, they know what, like for example, they'll ask. But it's very interesting these days. If you interview all the Gen Z, instead of you interviewing them, they will be interviewing you. So they ask you, Wi-Fi okay not? Can I use Facebook? Can I tweet? Can I WhatsApp this and that? So these are the things that they want to do. And if you say no, if you are still the old style of thinking, they will leave. Would you agree with me? I'm sure you must have observed that. And this generation, my own observation, I may be wrong. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. This generation, okay, for if they don't like you, and then they like their own me time, me time. If you disturb their me time, if somebody else offer them another job for $50 more, they will go.
They'll go,
because I observed that even in doctor that age, okay, I observed the behavioral pattern tu sama je. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Back to you.
that's
Apa ni, Khairul?
yes. I think this is where the challenge is happening. You talk about Malaysia context. For example, I don't want to quote names. Recently, we had one PG CEO from one public GLC company, very young guy, savvy, but after a change of government, he resigned. I know some thought saying he was forced to resign. I'm not sure about that. But but he can. So looking forward, right? I think in terms of the economics of course, the answers are clear on the wall. We know what to do, but why there's still struggle? We're still struggling to put this in practice.
Put what in practice?
I mean, having someone young to become a CEO, although is capable, although have some track record, but why we still have this tendency to doubt after 1-2 years, we still want to go back to the way it was.
To the older people, yeah, because many of the leaders who are still around still have that mindset, the management mindset. Because in those days, I remember, when you want to hold for a certain position, you must be at a certain age. So if you haven't attained a certain age, okay, you cannot be in that position. For example, those days, you want to be a senior manager, at least 33 and above. So I think that mindset is still around, and I think we need to dispense with it, because you have seen a lot of young people who can do it, and they are not only able to run organizations, to be good leaders, they are good entrepreneurs. You look at Facebook and Zuckerberg. How old is he? He's fairly young. And look at his net worth. And there are a lot of other young people, who have the ability, because I think the brain, the thinking is different. So you need to recognize that. They are the young people see things differently, and they are able to deal with the current situation. I mean, with people like me, boomers like this, I got a problem. If I go, I'm not shy to share this. If I go somewhere to the shop, and then suddenly pakai code, barcode. Apa dia panggil tu? QR code. Alamak, macam mana ni QR code ni? Macam mana? Okay. Because old timer kan. So I prefer to write my name, and I see that's it, and then okay, since talking about it, it's very interesting. And then there's one situation where I really felt so old. I was with Gen Y, late Gen Y, between Gen Z and Gen Y lah kan. And I went to a conference, and then I printed something, ni macam attendance kan. So so I printed from my email email. So I wanted to take it out from that. And you know what the person told me? The person said, "What? You are going to show the printed? Just take your phone and then just show the QR code and then show it.
Scan.
Okay, if you're going to go there and register using the printed email ni, I'm not going to walk with you." My God, I felt so old. Until today, I will never forget the incident. I mean, you don't realize it. You think, and when I heard it, I said, "Oops! Oh my God!" And I felt so old.
I mean,
because I thought I am quite tech savvy. Because I thought I'm adaptable. I mean, a lot of my colleagues, my friends, even kat Unita, mentioned I'm. So I always tell people there are three things, in leadership and management. The three A. Okay. To help you be relevant and maintain your relevance. Number one is adapt. Adopt and adapt. ADAPT. ADEPT, and the one ADOPT. Adapt, adopt. So the three. So if you are someone who can who understand what those three things mean, adopt the new technology, adapt yourself to the new technology, and get adapted, then you're okay. And I've always prepared my own slides, and there are a lot of things that I have done my own. Okay. You don't rely. But not everyone like that. Everyone they have their own style, of thinking. So perhaps that's why at my age, I'm still blabbering around on YouTube, Sorry,
Yes.
on Facebook with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right.
so as an okay, now let's talk about your life now as an academic, right? So, and you teach people from the industry as an academic now. You teach students are from industry. So when it comes to HR, what do you teach, and what are the things that they come and ask you, and their contending points in their organization regarding HR or human capital?
Well, the last cohort that I taught was special cohort TNB, senior management, 25 of them. So they were CEOs at the overseas outfit. They are CEOs in the subsidiary companies, and some very senior position. Even I'm sure some of them are watching me now. And that's the same thing that they asked me, like you said. And Alhamdulillah, in fact, they still are in contact with me. And some of the things that I nasihat and saya bagi, and they they use they adapt, or rather they adopt in the organization. But the thing that like you remember Chandler, they remember apa tadi tu? Siapa nama tadi? Guru tadi yang kata apa ni? You should be at the table, not on the table. Alrik, the Alrik model. So
Dave Alrik.
Dave Alrik, they are the 4 elements. So maknanya you must be an expert, okay, in that field, and then you must be people oriented, and then ada lagi tak ingat the 4. So it revolves around the 4 things. So if you as an HR leader, if you use those or rather adapt those principles, inshallah, you'll be okay. And then people will see that you are strategic in your thinking. This is very important, rather than an operational guy. I'm not saying that being operational is no good. In fact, there's another group of people who are OE, they call it operational excellence. They like to make sure that systems and process are in place. But there's a difference, because then they're not strategic. Strategic means you see a situation, and then you know where you are, and then where is it that it's going, and then you should be thinking that you see the big picture. Okay, but OE they look at the small picture first. I'm not saying that that's not important, but you need to see the big picture first, and then you go down and see the other details that can affect your big plans today. That's my thinking hasn't changed from that time until now.
Right. Okay, I want to ask you one controversial question on HR, right?
Oh, okay.
Right, yeah. So lately, if you could see that a lot of HR chief, CHRO are ladies. So between ladies CHRO or HR leaders and male CH leaders or men, so your view on this from academic standpoint and some of your experience, what do you think?
In fact, yesterday I was talking about it. The world has changed now. In fact, this gender bias notion will disappear. It's already blurring. Now we have the LGBT, right?
Right.
And it's a global movement. It's not only global, it's even here that people are making a lot of noise. And the interesting about you saying that a lot of women are holding this position. Bro, you can't help it. If you look at the universities, you know who are the people who are in the universities. And they all are graduating, and they have graduated and are graduating. And if you look at the government and even in the private sector, a lot of the senior positions are held by women. So I'm not surprised. But my thinking is always, and this is what I will tell people, when you look for employees, for a particular position, whether it's an HR leader, marketing apa, you look for the best person for the job, not the best man. Okay, those days we say the best man for the job, kan? So that's my view about it. And I even say this when I'm invited to some this women tribe, or there's macam apa ni, like UKM punya apa tu, institute kepimpinan kecemalaan tu Fatimah. So I sometimes I even provoke them, kan. But it's very interesting because there is a behavioral difference. Okay, there is an inherent behavior between a male HR leader and a female HR leader. Okay, based on my own working experience of more than 40 years, if you work, in an organization, whether HR or non-HR, you find that the women are more thorough. Okay, and they're more thorough and they're more detailed, they're more disciplined. If you give them something, okay, they'll make sure it's done. Tapi if you give the guys ni, generally, you know, they have lebih kurang aja kan. But that's the general behavior. But of course, there are some really serious ones. Which again, when you become a leader, okay, there's the difference between being a normal employee and then move up into a managerial responsible position. No, if you are a leader, there are two kinds of bosses. One is macro-manage or micro-manage. Okay? And we noticed that a lot of women, they micro-manage. I took the quality, but not all. I've met some who macro-manage. Okay, lebih kurang. But generally, they macro-manage, which is good. But some people, you know, find it difficult. So since you say that it is, what was the word you use? Sensitive question, controversial question. So I'm sharing my own experience lah. Ni I'm sure lepas ni kan ada banyak yang kecam saya dekat Facebook ni kan.
And you know how to report.
Okay.
Your rebuttal is quite good lah. Right. Yeah, Prof. I think we are past 10:30 already. You're 10:37 now. So let's do a bit of wrap up, right? So what would be your advice to HR leaders, particularly, and the management in addressing the human resources of the future?
Okay, most important thing, the world has changed now. Organizations will also change. Employees all over the world, you can see that it is no longer a scenario of structure, command and control. I'm the boss, you have to listen to me. No. It's now what do you call a sharing economy, a gig economy, and it's about don't discount the power of your employees, because I would imagine in the next couple of years the employees will gang up together and get rid of you, because even from the political standpoint now, they no longer have the dictatorial cloud of power like they used during masa zaman Soekarno lagi dulu. Because it's all people power. Okay, you can see even as I'm speaking, people are protesting in US, in UK, kind over certain matters. And the other thing, I don't know whether it's appropriate for me to mention, a bit sensitive, but I think from my own observation, there's a new issue now, which affects everything, which affects especially HR, okay, which is racism, okay, very sensitive issue, which I thought is already over and done with, but suddenly it's coming back. So for the last 250 years, what happened? What has happened? So in other words, a lot of things hasn't changed. So in the organization, the HR leaders, we need to pay attention to these issues, you know, gender issues, ethnic diversity issues, if you want to be global lah, okay, but maybe not just global, even in the Malaysian context, kita ni, we are also like the US kan, multi-ethnic, multi-religion, so that sensitivity is very important. That's my last parting comment to wrap up the session.
Okay, just before you wrap up, I want to ask you one more question. You talked about an important thing just now. A lot of Malaysian, I wish my observation, a lot of Malaysian management and Malaysian what I call thinking, we are actually looking at the Americans. We translate to Americans, right? Probably because of the English language. So from your experience, I think your past experience also, you have some business in Europe, and that's why you some European leaders. So how different is European leaders in terms of HR compared to the Americans? There's some thinking about from the area.
American is interesting, so you need to study, because the Europeans a bit macam, you know, serious. Okay, the British is very you can become friendly because they're very good. They don't memang bab they puji you and make you feel on top of the world, and they become friends good. Okay, and the Germans, the Italians, you know, the Spanish. They are a bit different. They are a bit offensive, but they are good friends. Over a period of time, they really become good friends. And the British sama juga. You know, you become friends for a long time. But the Americans ni lain sikit. Americans ni dia, they call it you know, you even when I attend conference, you know, when I do the event, they are not as how you call it, akrab with the word, you know. If you make a friend, they're not. So the Canadians are a bit different. So you find, so the Americans, I don't know whether because of but again, you must understand American, you must understand where they come from, because you know America is a melting pot, kan? They come people from Scandinavia, and then they're from Italy, okay? So
East,
different, okay. But otherwise, you know, and satu lagi ni, when you deal with the British ni, this is my observation, I may be wrong. They are the gang, they are very close, okay? The Australian, the Canadian, the American, and the British. In any decision making, this one some of my friends in who are in the foreign service yang jadi ambassador ni pun, based on the experience in the United Nations, dan UNESCO dan sebagainya. Dia macam bila apa-apa kan, they will always discuss among themselves first. And then kita ni Asian ni, you know, kan, they would prefer among them dulu kan yang tu. So and then masalah ni, kalau you especially macam UK kan, kalau dia dengar England, you Oxford, Cambridge, lagi terror pada dia, then baru dia respect. Tak baru dia respect. And then if otherwise they will tell you, before you finish they want to interrupt. No, I have done that, you know, during my corporate days dulu, when somebody wanted to masalah kan, when I see, you know what, I look at that, I say, hang on Jack, I'm not done yet. Very nice, Jack. Hang on Jack, do you mind? Can you hang on? I'm not done. Can I finish? Terkejut buruk dia. Bukan dia tak expect, dia ingat kita, because kita Asian kan, kita ni macam very subdued and very macam okay, tumpang okay, Assalamualaikum, tumpang lalu tunjuk tangan kan, very subservient, very polite kan. The word is quite, I like to quote Musaitan dulu kan, most of us are reluctant leaders. Kan macam nak lantik you jadi imam masjid kan dulu ada sebab
sila
dulu kan dia kata boleh tak jadi imam, you know what you say, they know you from Al-Azhar, they know you from some of the top Islamic university sama dekat Lebanon ke apa kan, minta you jadi, but the old school dia kata janganlah, kata ramai lagi ada orang yang hebat lagi, bagi tengok dia bukan dia mendah diri, you know, that but I don't think it is now. Today the world has changed. Even this is what I may be wrong lah kan, even in such situation kan, untuk mendapat untuk mendapat jawatan, belum apa-apa dia dah lobby dekat luar, I nak jadi setiausaha ke, I nak jadi so-and-so kan, ada WhatsApp drilling kan, dah lobby kan. So this is the scenario. I don't know whether you agree with me, but this is the general. I hope the young people, the young set, the 20 something, you know, that's between 20 and 30, you know, the gen, the tail end of the Gen Y and the Gen Z sekarang ni, they think differently, because every time when I drive, I always listen to Sinar, so I hear the boys chatting kan, and then it tells you a lot of things about the behavior of the people of their age. It's very interesting.
Yes. Yeah, I really want to talk more with you about the graduates, the young people. I think let's have another session on that, because I think that there is a lot of things in that the younger generation that I think we like to hear from you, because I think you mix around with
I mean a lot of
segments, right? Yeah. So I think for now let's call this session, and maybe we can have another one to talk about the young people, right? The young people, employment, unemployment, some skills that probably
what are the aspiration kan?
Yes.
What are the aspiration? What is it? How do they look at life? How do they look at the politics? Whether they pay attention or not? How do they look at the nation? Or what is it that they want? Is it just making sure that they get a job? And I think it's very important for us to know that.
Yes.
And I think it's our responsibility to prepare, because in those days when I was young, we see things differently. In fact, they should be able, the young set now is better than us because they have access to all the, bro, everything is embargo. You just have to type, you can get. But of course, the danger is a lot of fake news now, so you have to be careful. That's the thing.
Right. So, but reason why I think I'm in line with this, because reason why I want to bring this topic up also the next round, because while we probably think they have everything, but they don't think so. They think they don't have a lot of things. They want the things that So I think so. How do we convince them to stay on?
How do we deal with that situation?
How do we deal with the situation? Because it's crucial actually. All right. So because I have someone close to me it has this dilemma, and I think their friends also similarly having the same dilemma. So I think let's bring this to the next session, and we could invite some of them probably on board to share their thoughts as well, kan?
Exactly.
Kan?
Share their thinking, kan? Kita observe and then kita assume. But let's hear from them. What is
from them? Yes. All right. Okay, Prof K, thank you so much. I think more than I supposed to. Thank you so much. I hope we are able to gain something. I'll do a summary out of this session so that everyone that is couldn't get the access just now will be able to get at least some summary of this session. Okay, Prof K, thank you so much. Good night. Have a good weekend. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.
Waalaikumsalam. Sekejap, boleh ambil gambar tak?
Boleh.
Ambil gambar tak?
Alright, boleh.
Before I apa ni? Okay, bro.
Tak kalah.
Alright, bye.
Okay, thanks bro. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.